Good morning, Pisces. Welcome back to the channel. This is Jess with Awaken Healings, and I'm here to bring you your forecast. So I can't believe that we're already here at the end of the year, but we're here and we made it. We survived. And it's been quite the ride for most of us, many of us, if not all of us. But before I get started with the reading, I just want to take a moment to talk about a new Etsy shop that I just opened up. I am featuring handcrafted salt blends as a way to just help with our spiritual cleansing hygiene practices. So the idea is, as light workers, we do have to clean and cleanse our auric energy field. As light workers, we do attract negative entities, negative energies that just sort of get stuck around our field. And, that creates grime, that creates interference with our ability to connect with spirit, with our ability to, connect with the spirit world. So salt is an amazing way to take care of that, to cleanse our auric field. So salt baths, soaking in a nice relaxing salt bath and just, meditating and, visualizing, doing a visual meditation of your auric field being cleansed is a wonderful technique to do that. So it's the idea is sort of similar, like if you're going to sage a house or a space, you can maybe walk into a home or a space and you're like, oh, I don't like the energy. You'll sage it because that's going to help. That's going to help dispel and unlock that negative residue, that low vibe residue that just sort of gets stuck. Got to clear it away. So that's what we're doing here with these salt blends that I've created. So I've been taking salt baths for years, and I've just sort of been toying around with different blends, different essential oils, different types of salts, just to sort of create something special and unique. So I decided to open an Etsy shop and allow you all to experience some of the blends that I use for me personally. So this one that I have here, this is the lavender, it's the lavender blend. And it's two types of salt. We have coarse sea salt with Epsom salt. So there's a therapeutic aspect associated with blends. I'm also a CrossFitter and an Olympic weightlifter. Very, very, just is more of a hobby, but I do a lot of heavy lifting. So muscles, I get really sore. So I use a lot of Epsom salt. So I decided to infuse salt blends with some Epsom salt to help you relax and really get in, into a nice state of relaxation as your auric field is being cleaned. This one's lavender. It's infused with lavender essential oil. I also have included bits of dried lavender as well to infuse your bath. For moisturizers, I have jojoba and grapeseed oil mixed in to the salt blend. So this is what I'm offering. This is the large size. This is, so I want to say, I'm going to double check on the site. But I have 3 other blends as well that I've created, and they're ready. They're ready to go. They're ready for purchase. They're ready for shipping. So details are in the link below. Etsy, it's Awaken Healings, and they make great Christmas gifts, birthday gifts, anniversary gifts just because there's a lot of reasons why you would use, why you would gift someone with the gift of a salt bath or a salt blend, like a spa kit. So take a look, check that out. Let me know what you think of the products, and I hope to see you over there. Okay, Pisces, so let's go ahead and get started. We're going to kick off your reading using the Rebel Goddess Oracle deck. So what I've been feeling a lot recently is there's just been a lot of goddess energy that I've been tapping into. I feel like the divine feminine energy is really on her A game. I feel that she's not taking any shit from anyone. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's really strong with Pisces right now. I feel like we've really been through the thick of it as far as relationships and life experience is concerned. Life has just made sure that Pisces has learned the karmic lessons. And in doing so, over the past couple of years, it feel like, we were sort of getting shortchanged, like no matter what we were working on, no matter what we were trying to manifest, we just weren't quite getting it. And it was just sort of falling apart. But I feel like the universe is circling back around to say, okay, Pisces, we see you. We see you, we hear you, we recognize the hard work that you've been doing on yourself, the shadow work you've been doing. We understand that you have proven that you've learned these karmic lessons and you're ready for ascension. You're ready to receive the gifts of abundance, and you're attracting in the right personnel, the right experiences, the right opportunities based upon these trials and tribulations that you've been through over the past several years. We were in Scorpio season, that was all about really closing down major karmic timelines, big ones, stuff that has gone on for decades. I feel like this is the work that we've been doing for a couple of years, closing down these cycles, these timelines. And again, healing doesn't happen overnight. It is a process, and it goes at the speed that you're able to heal from, to open up, to allow those experiences in, to learn the lessons. And some of these lessons require time. So this is something that's been going on for several years, and I feel like now in 2020, particularly in November, that a lot of that has finally come to its natural conclusion. I feel like the universe is saying, okay, Pisces, we see you. We see your light. We see your strength. We see your wisdom. You are now really standing in your truth and power, and it's time to bring in those ideas, those dreams, those goals that you've really been working on, that you've been planting, that you've been nurturing, really trying to manifest and bring them into the 3D, right? So let's get started. So you have collaborative dreaming. So what I like about this is I feel like there's a lot of ancestral energy coming off of this card. So I do get the sense, Pisces, that you've been working diligently with your spiritual team and with your ancestors. And I feel like you have a lot of love and spiritual protection around you. And throughout the years, I feel like, your spirit team, your spirit guides, and particularly your ancestors have really been guiding you through these lessons, through these experiences, and helping you shape a better future for you, kind of helping you co-create a greater vision for a more improved life, something that's more fulfilling, something that's more abundant, something that's going to really feed your soul, not just temporarily, but I feel like you're creating something that's long lasting, right? And this is a date card, which reduces to endings. So I get the sense that an old aspect of yourself, or an old, how do I want to say this? I guess you're shedding, almost like a Kundalini experience. You're definitely shedding old skin, old habits, old ways of thinking, old ways of being, to step into your new. Because as since this is a you have it, which equals so new beginnings as well. So I feel like this is something that's been definitely in the works, and it's divinely guided, divinely timed, and divinely protected. Up next, every journey starts with a single step. So you're ready. You're ready for the next phase. You're ready to move on. We see a woman standing vulnerable with her bags packed, and she's just, letting spirit just envelop her and guide her from her heart chakra. So Pisces, keep an open mind, keep an open heart, and be willing to allow new personnel, new experiences to enter your space, because this is going to bring you the joy, the love, the abundance that you've been dreaming about, that you've been manifesting, that you've been really working hard to experience. And I feel like some of us feel like, gosh, we talk to spirit, we ask, we ask through prayer, this is what we like, this is what we want, blah, blah, blah. And it keeps coming to us in forms that are less than. And when that happens, there's always a lesson. It's like, okay, I feel like many of us are like, okay, we're done with the lessons. We get it, and I think Spirit's like, yeah, you do get it now. You are now ready to start this amazing journey, and you're now prepped and primed to receive the gifts of abundance and love and prosperity that you really have been manifesting. You are now spiritually ascended and vibrationally elevated to become a vibration for those gifts. So be prepared, because I feel like Q1 is going to be a very prosperous year for you, Pisces. And then lastly, we have Heaven Sent in reverse. Yeah, so I get the sense this is a very personal energy. Your spirit guides, again, are strongly around you. I'm getting a lot of ancestral energy coming off these cards. Just a lot of love, a lot of protection, a lot of spirituality here. So Pisces, bravo, congratulations on all the hard work that you've been doing so far, and keep it up, because this is what's going to set you up for success going forward into one. And it's really just going to highlight everything that you've dreamed of. So, all right, so let's move on to the tarot. This is Tarot de la Nuit, and we're just going to pull some clarifiers for these oracle cards. Already, this is a pretty intense reading. It's a beautifully spiritual reading. So I'm curious to see what's going to come out in the tarot. So just give me a moment to shuffle. Okay. Yeah, so I feel like, okay, coming up first, we have the Three of Cups, clarifying this collaborative dreaming, right? So again, the ancestral energy is coming through, and I feel that, Pisces, that you've just really been working with your spirit tribe, that you're working with people who really enhance and highlight your spirituality and complement your spiritual gifts. And, this could be non-family members. These are people whom you connect with energetically through a spiritual connection. And it is bringing joy and abundance, right? Because Three of Cups is a card of celebration. It's a card of happiness. Cups are also about feelings and intuition. So I do feel that with, in collaboration between you and spirit, your ancestors, your spirit team, there's just a lot going on to ensure true happiness, pure happiness. But this is celebration. I feel like you've made a breakthrough. You're honoring where you've been, where you are now, and where you're going. So there's just a lot to be happy about and a lot to celebrate. Up next, we have the Four of Wands, clarifying the journey starts with a single step, right? So Four of Wands is about coming home to you, because this is coming in the reverse. So this is a homecoming to self. Center mass, centeredness here in your heart space. And, I just really love this card. I mean, the spiritual energy that's coming off of it, her vulnerability, her complete and utter surrender and trust in the universe. I mean, she is trusting with blind faith that the universe has her back, is going to guide her forward. And this is all about coming home to center. This is about being grounded in ourselves first, because upright, the Four of Wands is stability, and it's could be the card of engagement, could be the card of marriage. It's also a very, very celebratory card. Reverse, it's celebrating yourself. It really is coming home. It's like a homecoming. So this is another celebratory card together with the Three of Cups. So there's just a lot for you to be happy about, a lot for you to be proud of, and just a lot for you just to honor and say, you know what, yeah, give yourself credit, Pisces. Sometimes I feel like we don't do that enough, because I'm a Pisces too. Sometimes I feel that we're very hard on ourselves sometimes, and we forget to say, hey, you know what? Good job. Good job. You deserve this. You've worked really hard, and now it's time to sit back and really, really admire the work that we've done. So up next, we have Heaven Sent with the Magician in reverse. So this is, I feel like there would be a bit of a block to manifesting. Because when the Magician comes in upright, this is all about you being prepped and ready to manifest your desires, your dreams, your goals. When it's reversed, there's a pause, there's a hesitation, and you feel like you're just not quite ready yet. But let's see if there's anything else that comes out as we do another round of tarot, to see if we can get some clarifiers on that aspect. With manifesting, you definitely have to be very clear with what it is that you're intending. So there could be a bit of fogginess, a bit of confusion, you know, a bit of uncertainty, sort of maybe going back and forth, perhaps not ready to leave the past behind completely, and that can interfere with your manifestation ability. So let's see. Let's see what's going on. Oops. Wow, they're making me work for the second row. The second row is all about your present situation. So what we just discussed is more about what's happened in your past up to your more recent past. So there's that. And the way I'm doing spread, there's kind of multiple ways to read these columns. So we have rows and columns, and I'm doing a past, present, future. There's multiple ways to read it. There's a bit of, you know, diagonals, and I got 2 cards. And yeah, it just offers me more variety and flexibility to read your energy in this format. Okay, so let's see. We have Knight of Cups in reverse. We have the Sun in reverse. It's interesting. Ace of Wands and Knight of Pentacles in reverse. So you have a double card for your future column. The present row, future column over here, if that makes sense. See if I can maybe move the camera a little bit just to kind of showcase some of this. I'm using a different setup. I just sort of felt inclined to be on camera this time around. Lately, I've been doing more of like an overview just to show the cards. So comment below, let me know if you have any preference on card setup. So I just thought I'd just sort of mix up the energy. Okay, Pisces, so we have Knight of Cups in reverse. Are you in love with someone, perhaps? Perhaps you're thinking of offering a cup of love, but there's something that's preventing you from doing that. I'm also getting the sense that some of you are hoping that the person you're thinking about will come back and offer their cup of love to you. There's a bit of sadness, a bit of melancholy associated with this. You know, we've got the Sun in reverse. This could be a heartbreak. This could be a breakup. Harsh words weren't really exchanged. It wasn't a fiery parting. I feel like it was more mutual. It was a gentle parting, but there's love here. There's love, and I feel like you're pining for this person. The word pining keeps coming in. And this happened already. So this is in the past column. This is in the past column. So I feel like this is something that happened a few months ago. And I feel like this is something that's been sort of in and out. So someone pulled back their cup of love. And I feel like, Pisces, it was you. I feel like you want more, right? I feel like this is a bit of a situationship where it's been in and out. There's love there. There's attraction. There's chemistry. And you see a lot of great potential with your person. But they weren't honoring you the way that you deserve to be honored. And I feel like you did speak up at some point, and you let them know. You let them know how you feel, what you desire, what you expect, and you know, ultimately you pulled back that cup of love and said, you know what, look, I am not going to be available to you for physical purposes unless you come to me with more, you know, a good proper offer of commitment, solidarity. You know, let's create something that has legs and the potential to grow and blossom into something more, not just this weird in and out, hey, let's have some fun and I'll see you later. You know, I think that was fine in the beginning, but you have grown fond of this person, and they're not reciprocating. They're not reciprocating their love and feelings for you. You know, it is lopsided, and yeah, it's leaving you feeling a bit melancholy with the Sun right now. And we have Ace of Wands with the Nine of Pentacles coming in for you. in the near future. So it looks like there could be a passionate new beginning of some sorts, but you have to get into alignment with yourself first with the the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. So there's an imbalance of self-worth, Pisces. And I feel like this has been part of the lessons that Spirit has been trying to teach you over the years, to stand your ground, to set healthy boundaries, and as much as it hurts, but to say, look, I can't see you like this under these conditions and circumstances. I need more. Because I feel like there's going to be an offer of renewal here, a passionate renewal coming in. But are you ready, Pisces, to put your foot down? So I feel like this is part of the lesson. And you are, and I feel like, this is also clarifying the Magician in reverse in this future column on the the present row. But I think there's a reason why you're having trouble manifesting, what you desire. Because it looks like there's a bit of imbalance here with self-worth, okay? So when the Nine of Pentacles comes in, she's sort of like a mini empress. Upright, she's independent, she's financially stable, she's got a great career, great group of friends, social calendar is full. She's got it all, and she's single, and she's not really looking for a relationship. She's fine on her own. If crosses her, fine. She will accept it because she wants to. It's not a necessity. It's not a desire. It's not something outside of herself. She's not seeking external validation elsewhere. She's fine in her skin. So there's that. I feel like, Pisces, this is something, when this person comes in, this ace, this wand energy, I feel like they throw you off. I feel like after you've had your moment together, and you go into that separation mode, it takes time to put yourself back together. But when you're together and you're separated, you're good and you feel strong, you feel solid. You're like, okay, I'm in it. I'm in groove. I am, the Nine of Pentacles. But when this person comes back in, I just feel like you go weak in the knees. And it's like, oh, all that hard work and wisdom went out the door, and you're sort of reverting back to old patterning, old habits, letting that person control the time, date, and location, and the frequency of contact, whether it's physical contact, social contact, texting, all of that. I feel like that person controls how they interact with you. And you're just expected to be compliant, and you do so willingly in the beginning because you thought, okay, well, let's be flexible, no problem. But it sort of has become the norm, and you've given away that power to your person, all right? So it's time to bring that into alignment. And I feel like you've done some of that by pulling back your Knight of Cups, by pulling back that cup, and saying, look, this isn't going to work for me. And I do believe you did speak your truth. There could have been maybe a bit of some interference with this Three of Cups too. I get the sense that this isn't something that interfered with your relationship. I get the sense that this is someone else external to your relationship who's showing you interest. I feel, because it's coming in with the collaborative dreaming. So I think Spirit and your Spirit team are trying to show you options to say, hey, this guy or this person, you have something here, but it's toxic and it's unfulfilling. It's not fulfilling enough for you. So here are some other options for you to consider, right? So this Ace of Wands could be someone new coming in your near future. It's just about you remaining open to new opportunities, new possibilities. Okay, Pisces? So let's do another round. There was a lot of messages on that. But yeah, the sun is reversed. So that could also be telling you to just relax and to get in touch with your inner child. Think about the things when you were a young child that used to make you happy, that used to smile. What were some of the things that you used to dream about? You know, it's time to make those dreams come alive. It's time to just enjoy, sit back and enjoy. I feel like you've been doing a lot of hard work, and when the sun comes in reverse, this is also an indicator to say, don't forget to laugh, don't forget to sing, don't forget to dance. Lift up your spirits. It's time to be less serious. Yeah. Everything's gonna work itself out. I feel like you've been doing the work. I'm seeing someone who's like meditating, journaling, really in their thoughts, connecting with the 3 and the 5D. But when the sun comes in reverse, that's also a reminder to say, hey, come back to the 3D. Spend some time here in the 3D. And it's not going to derail any of your spiritual work that you've done so far. In fact, it's going to enhance it, because you're taking a step back to surrender and release. I'm like, all right, I've done plenty here. I need a break. So I do feel like the Sun card is also coming in to bring you that message, to let you know, hey, Pisces, have some fun. The holiday season, put on some, holiday music, see some great movies, take a walk outside. People are putting up their decorations. So it's just a nice time to be outside, getting some fresh air, and just, Christmas in the U.S., we're getting ready for the holiday season, but Christmas really just gets you at your inner child core. It really takes you all the way back to childhood. So I feel like this is just saying, breathe, recenter yourself, get back to your roots, right? Your roots were laid down in childhood. What are those memories? What is it that you wanted? So, yeah, whenever I feel off kilter, I usually do that. Like, I always go back to a childhood memory of us playing house. And I was a bit unconventional because all my little friends wanted to play the housewife and stay home and take care of the children. I was like, no, that's not me. If we're playing house, I'm going to be envisioning myself as an adult. And I was envisioning foreign travel, an amazing job, a great income, great clothes, great, relationships, friends, parties. That's what I wanted. I was like, I don't want to stay home. No. I always go back to that. And there's one day in particular. It was a hot summer day in Texas, and I got all the little girlfriends were playing house, and I was like, I gotta go to work. So I kind of was like pretending that I had a briefcase, and I kind of was pretending I was living in a big city, and I was like, I gotta catch a flight, so I had this wild imagination. And it's crazy because fast forward into adult years, my life has been that. I did manifest a lot of that. I've chosen the path of a career woman, living in a big city. I love travel. I love friends. And, I feel like I created the life that I really wanted to create. And I always go back to that particular childhood memory. And whenever things get tough for me, or if I feel like I'm getting stuck somewhere, or I'm just out of touch or out of alignment, I always go back to that one day. I was like, what was it that I wanted? And I just sort of tap into the feeling of that dream, and then it's like, oh yeah, now we're back on track. Now we're centered. Now we're here. We're home. We're home with Jess, with that inner child. So just something to think about. I hope that anecdotal story kind of helped a bit. Okay, so what we have the 9 of Wands coming up. So perseverance, a struggle. You're close to the end. You're close to closing down a chapter, a cycle. She's looking a little bit weary. She's been through it. She's been through some stuff. We have the Knight of Wands coming through in your near future. So this is going to be an offer of passion, of love, of perhaps renewal. And we have the Ace of Swords, clarity. There's going to be some truth. There's going to be some discussions. And, you know, we're seeing, again, we are seeing the Ace of Wands too. So we have a couple of new beginnings. Knight of Wands, Ace of Swords, Ace of Wands. There's going to be some talk, some communication. It could be a possible rekindling here. Yeah? Either with this person, or it could be you going off in a different direction. But either way, I feel, Pisces, that you have options. I feel that you have choices here. And I think no matter what you choose, you're going to find a way to make yourself happy. The only cautionary advice that's coming through is if you are going back to the person, sort of with the who was in and out, make sure that they are ready and that they are able to meet your standards, right? To meet your requests, your demands. Because if they're not, it's going to be more of the same. Okay, so just think about that. So we're going to go ahead and use the inverted tarot to clarify a few of this stuff. So tell me about this Three of Cups, please. What is this Three of Cups? Two of Wands. I feel like you have two options, two choices. I feel like this is expansion. I feel like this is a bit of passion there. And like I said, I feel like the universe was gifting you with options. Not that your relationship had a third-party interference, but there's other people coming to you that the universe is like, how about this person? How about that one? What do you think of over here? You know what I mean? What's this Knight of Cups? What's this Knight of Cups in reverse? Queen of Swords. Maybe some of you in reverse. Maybe some of you are dealing with an air sign. Gemini, Aquarius, Libra. But yeah, we're seeing the Queen of Swords here in the reverse with the Knight of Cups. So I feel like, you know, there is no communication there. There could have been a bit of an argument, a bit of a spat. One more on that, please. Let's figure that out. One more for the Queen of Swords on that Knight of Cups reversed. Yeah, Six of Pentacles in reverse. It was unequal give and take. Unequal give and take. This is you giving more than you're receiving, and this is why you said, no more, can't do that. What's up with the Sun? Why is the Sun reversed? But yeah, that's you creating boundaries. That's you stepping in your truth and your power and saying, hey, you know, you're great. We've got something great here. This is not enough. You cannot come in and out whenever you want and expect me to just, you know, be on your timeline. I have needs, and you know, this is what I desire. Yeah, there's an ending here. You know, you got the World clarifying the Sun. Yeah, this is the ending to a way of life, sort of like a pattern. So with the pattern with this person is coming to an end, and it's up-leveling you. It's up-leveling you and the connection. One more, and it's necessary. I'm sorry, we're going a bit long right now, but there's just a lot of messages coming in for Pisces right now. The Magician upright. Yeah, so this needed to be cleared out in order for you to manifest your desires, hopes, and dreams. What's interesting, like I said, you have the Magician in the reverse that came in your regular reading, but now it's coming in upright with this World card. So that situation needed to end. It was toxic. It wasn't serving your highest good, and the universe is like, okay. So I feel like right now that's where you're at. 'Cause it's central to your reading. It's in your present line. This is what you're going through. What is this Ace of Wands coming in? Transition, transformation, new passionate beginnings. But this is Scorpio energy. So this happened last month is what I'm getting. This feels fresh. This feels recent. You know, this is where you're at. So yeah, it's going to bring passionate new beginnings, a renewal of self-worth for you. And it needed to happen. It needed to happen. One more on that Death card, please. Two of Pentacles. This could be a rebalancing, and this is also creating options for you as well. But there is a rebalance going on, a rebalance of power. And there's a renewal. Again, like I said, you have options, you have choices. What is this Knight of Wands? What is this Knight of Wands? Maybe some of you are dealing with a fire sign. Sagittarius, Aries, Leo. What is this Knight of Wands? So this Knight of Wands is in your present column in the near future. So I feel like someone is going to be coming in with a message of passion. And we also have the Ace of Swords in your future, so clarity. There's going to be a conversation going on. You're going to get clarity. Yeah, Knight of Wands brings Eight of Pentacles. Feels like they've learned their lessons. What else on that? And the High Priestess in reverse. Yeah, so we have the Eight of Pentacles and the High Priestess in reverse. More to follow. This is stay true to yourself and remain in alignment, because you've been doing a lot of work on yourself. And again, you go weak in the knees with this person. So what else? Just stay in your priestess energy when this person comes in, and just really honestly stick to what you want and remain steadfast. If it's a relationship, a proper relationship, say so. Say so. It's up to that person to meet you where you're at, not for you to shrink and to lower your standards. It's not going to do you any good. It's going to create heartache and disappointment and frustration. The Moon, intuition. Yeah, so something is going to be revealed to you that's a bit destined, and that is in divine timing with this Moon and the High Priestess. What is this Ace of Swords? What is this Ace of Swords? What is this Ace of Swords? The Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Yeah, this conversation is going to be a pivotal moment for you. Again, you have options, Pisces. It's going to be pivotal. It can either, turn in the favor of this person from the past, or turn in your favor to explore new options and end this connection. What else for this wheel? What else? Temperance. Maybe some of you are dealing with a Sagittarius. This is going to be about healing. This is about having patience. This is about going slow. But this is about honoring yourself, This is healing the past, because I know you don't want to go through another karmic cycle. I know you don't want to go through all that. You may have to potentially walk away completely from this connection in order for it to completely break that cycle. Does it mean that it's a bye forever? It's just a bye for now. Okay, so that's something to consider. Anything else for Pisces? Anything else for Pisces? Page of Pentacles. There's gonna be an offer coming in, a genuine offer of stability, the beginning of a relationship. So, like I said, make sure the person that you're thinking about is ready to meet you where you're at and to really come in proper. This is the Page of Pentacles. Pentacles are very grounded, practical, loyal. They go slow, so you want to take your time with an emerging relationship with this person from your past. There is a lot there, and I do get the sense you don't really want to, chuck that out the window, but you also want to make sure that you're being treated the way that you want to be treated. Okay, Pisces? So we're going to stop that there. I feel like this can keep going on and on and on. I'm going to pull an oracle from the Sacred Earth oracle cards just to get some earth energy up in here. There's a lot of passion. You've got choices. You've got options. I feel like either way, you're going to end up happy. You're going to end up happy. And if you choose to go in a different direction without this person, take some time to be on your own, to heal your heart, to clear your head, so that way you're able to show up and be present for any new people, any new potentials. It's not fair to show up emotionally unavailable, because then that's also going to create karma. And you've been through that enough. So yeah, let's just see what Sacred Earth has for you, and we're going to go ahead and close that there. If this reading resonated for you, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Check out the website awakenhealings.org and Etsy shop Awaken Healings on Etsy. Hopefully I'll see you over there shopping and trying out amazing salt blends. I'm sure you'll like them. I love them. I really do. Okay, for Pisces, please. For Pisces. Ooh, interesting. Preservation in reverse. This is self-preservation. preserving your integrity, preserving your honor, preserving your self-worth. Yes, remain steadfast. All right, so that's all I have for you. Have a love number. We'll see you soon. Take care. Love and light. Bye-bye.